Imagine this. You've been learning a new foreign language for 1 week. You downloaded all the applications, you watched every single video on YouTube about this language, you listened to every single song, you're doing everything for you to learn this language, but something's still off. You feel like you're doing nothing. Well, I did have the same feeling as you do right now because I made one small mistake. Probably not so small, but this mistake really inhibited me from finally mastering this foreign language. And so today I'm gonna expose this mistake that's really keeping you away from achieving your goals in this language. So if you actually want to learn why you're not progressing in new language, stick with me because we're gonna start right now. Let's go. Hi, I'm Veronica. I learn 9 languages, including some programming languages, and I'm all about multidisciplinary learning. And if you will, you can call me a Renaissance person. So I think you are in the right place. So back to the main point. I don't think that it's actually your fault because we're all exposed to this idea of perfect routine for language learning, like you have to follow the same diet like your friend, your family member who is learning the same language as you do, and you feel like you should do the same as they do, but in fact sometimes it might not work for you. And so here is actually the mistake that might hold you back: learning too much grammar, too much unnecessary vocabulary, topics, even before you use this language. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, right? It feels like grammar is the foundation for any language, right? Well, not really. From my own experience and from some studies out there, I found that learning too much grammar, too much complicated, intricate vocabulary before you speak or use this language can really slow down your learning curve and decrease your motivation in the long run. Why, you might ask? Because our brains learn languages differently than we actually think they do. Babies don't memorize grammar rules, like they learn through immersion in the language, through repetition, through practice, and through mistakes. Adults, on the other hand, try to figure this out intellectually, technically. This creates this sort of gap in between of using this language and speaking it fluently and simply knowing the grammar. So why do we keep making the same mistake? It is the illusion of progress. Memorizing grammar feels productive because you're technically learning something. But in reality, it's like learning about every single muscle in your body, about how they do work, how you should properly exercise, but you're not actually going to the gym or you're not actually taking this diet. Like, you get the deal. You're simply learning and consuming information, like in the passive learning. But learning language is all about active learning and implementing what you learned. You might know the rules, but it doesn't mean that you can actually communicate in this language. Back in early days when I learned my second and third languages, I didn't know that I made this mistake. I thought that it was completely fine and I will get out of this somehow, but still I didn't make any progress. For example, when I learned French in school. So for 10 years, I was learning French, but I couldn't actually speak because in school I was simply learning some grammar patterns that I was supposed to use, but I just couldn't. And well, we did speak, but something felt off in this situation because I couldn't speak French, even though I was learning it for a period of 10 years. By that time, I actually needed to take my exams in from French language, but I didn't know anything. And so, summer before my next grade in school, I somehow found a motivation for me to learn French. I fell in love with French culture, as it might sound a bit cheesy, but it's actually true. I fell in love with French culture, with French movies, songs, all of this, and I actually felt a passion for learning French. And so this is what helped me finding a motivation or passion for you to learn this language. And in basically 2 years, I went from low B1 to actually C1. I passed DELF exam, C1 level, probably 2 weeks ago, and this all in 2 years, even less. Second example is when I was learning Spanish. As you may already know, in my previous videos, I talked about how I tried to learn Spanish in 2 weeks, but I failed. I tried to memorize every single grammar topic, vocabulary, some intricate topic-specific vocabulary that I didn't really needed to learn, and I simply failed because I didn't speak in Spanish. Speaking is a key part for learning any foreign language. And so here are some apps that might actually help you to finally train your speaking and get out of this comfort zone of not speaking in this language. There may be different reasons for you not wanting to speak or being scared of speaking in a new foreign language. This all personal, but these apps can really help you with speaking and not making it too uncomfortable for you or too scary to speak with a native speaker, for instance. If you're learning like a general language, for instance, Polish, Italian, French, something like this, you can install italki, where you can talk with the teachers. But if you're actually learning Spanish, Korean, or Japanese languages, I truly suggest you to download Tuda because you're not actually talking to a real person, but a video recorded lesson that you can simply pass like a normal lesson and simply like this to practice, not with a real person, but instead with a video recording of this person. I know I suck at explaining things, but you can actually download it and check it out for yourself, whether it works for you. Because this one really did work for me, because when I first started learning Korean language, Korean grammar, like all of this stuff, I was on the edge of getting in the same hole. But when I actually found this app, I finally started speaking in language and I felt pretty much more confident than when I was learning Spanish or French languages. Okay, so here are 3 tips that will actually help you to get on the next milestone in your language learning journey and stop afraid of speaking or actually getting on the next level. First one, start with high frequency words. What do high frequency words mean? Well, these are the most used words in any language, like top 1,000 words that are used in 80% of daily conversations. You should learn them first. Second, practice active listening. This means you have to pay attention to patterns and to actually the structure of language, not simply mindlessly listening to videos, films, series, songs, but actually paying attention to what you're listening or watching. You can simply turn on Netflix with subtitles and actively reading and listening at the same time. That's actually what helped me out. The third one, as I have already said, speak from day one. I have already mentioned some apps that you can use and you can try, but the main idea is that you have to speak even the most basic vocabulary from day one. You can practice speaking with yourself, like a monologue. You can try speaking in front of a mirror, or you can even try creating a conversation with the artificial intelligence. Like when I was learning English or French, uh, artificial intelligence didn't exist back then, but now I actually did use this technique because this really does help me out. Look, learning any skill isn't about perfection. We sometimes think that learning anything has to be perfect or aesthetically beautiful, but it's simply not the case. Like, I'm learning my ninth language right now, and I didn't do anything perfectly at all. Like, I do quite a few of mistakes in every single language, but I simply love the process of it, even though I'm ready to make this stupid mistake sometimes. Like, even when I speak in front of the camera, I become a bit nervous or excited too much, and I commit too much stupid mistake that I notice when I actually edit the video. But it's totally okay. Normal people won't judge you for trying to speak a foreign language. Like you're literally progressing, and you're progressing in your knowledge. You try to ameliorate and improve yourself. Like it's a real great way to improve yourself. Like, why should you be ashamed of this? Even though you're not speaking perfectly, like, it's completely okay. You're trying to improve yourself. So be proud of what you do right now. So let's make a deal. Close this grammar book and try to finally immerse yourself in the language. Imagine this. You came to this foreign country, like you're learning, for instance, Italian. You came to Italy, right? You don't have your grammar book. You have native speakers around you, and you're trying to survive basically in Italy. You try speaking Italian and try to like order this pizza, or I don't know, book a hotel for yourself or buy this ticket for train. Like you're trying to survive in this language, and only like this in practice you will be able to learn this language. Trust me. And not only trust me, but also trust the progress, trust the future, because your future version of yourself will thank you when you actually commit to learning this language. And if you're actually wondering what to do if you hit learning plateau, when you feel like you have a room to progress but you don't even know what to do next, I can create a separate video about this topic. If you're interested, just tell me in the comments down below. As always, I created a special downloadable guide that you can get in the descriptions down below. It contains a summary of this video, a calendar tracker to track your progress, and some additional tips that are not covered in this video, but only and solely in this downloadable guide down below. If you really did like this video, please subscribe to my channel, give me your thumbs up, and share your opinions in the comments down below. Where can I improve, and what type of videos do you want to see next on this YouTube channel? I really do appreciate you being here, and I really do hope I'll see you in my next videos. Goodbye!